Hello, my name is Elana Silber, and my favorite thing is Orangetheory.
Welcome to the Finding Favorites podcast, where we explore your favorite things without using an algorithm. Here's your host, Leah Jones.
Hello, and welcome to Finding Favorites. I'm your host, Leah Jones, and this is the podcast where we learn about people's favorite things and get recommendations without using an algorithm. Breast Cancer Awareness Month continues. We're recording this in September, but this is being released in late October. And I am thrilled to have with me today. She is the CEO of Sharsheret. Sharsheret is a Jewish breast cancer organization that I am involved with in Chicago. And my guest today is Elana Silber. Elana is the CEO of Sharsheret. She has her MBA from Mount Sinai Hospital, CUNY. And she joined Sharsheret as a volunteer in the earliest days and has been on the staff since 2003. She's led the organization's growth from a handful of volunteers to a national organization, and today has overall strategic and operational responsibility for Sharsheret's staff, program, and growth nationwide. Elana is maybe one of the last new people I met before COVID started, before everything shut down, when she came to Chicago to figure out who are the people she needed to know to get Sharsheret up and running in the Midwest and in Chicago. I'm so thrilled that she's joining me today. Elana, how are you?
I am good, and thank you for the introduction. And really, the thank you goes to you for helping Sharsheret really get off the ground in Chicago. We were always national, but we didn't have good traction in the Midwest. I'm sitting in the Northeast, and yes, we've used communications all the time, and we have reach into the community, but to really become the fabric of the community, we needed local people, leaders on the ground. And Leah led the way for us. And, a couple of years later, 4 or 5 years later,
Yeah,
we've really become part of the Chicago community and the Midwest, greater Midwest area. And we're doing a lot of good things, helping a lot of women, men, and families in the community who are touched by breast cancer and ovarian cancer. So thank you, Leah. Thank you. And thank you for having me, because I absolutely love to spread the word, and Breast Cancer Awareness Month is an opportunity to, breast cancer is trending now. So why not get the word out about Sharsheret while we can, when people are listening and paying attention?
yeah. So this when we were scheduling the appointment, I had my mammogram this morning. Also had a colonoscopy this week, first ever colonoscopy. And then before we got on the phone, I got the all clear on both.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
That's good. I don't want to miss my slot on the podcast. You definitely had a very busy week there, Leah.
It was a busy week. It was first time colonoscopy, which was delayed a few years because I had breast cancer. But this is I hadn't had a mammogram in a year. I was very anxious, and she took four little views, and I was good to go. So it's so important that people get out there and get their screenings. But what are the other things? You have been now working in the breast cancer, ovarian cancer space for over 20 years. What are the things in 2024 that you think people need to know about when it comes to breast cancer? Things change, medicines change, scans change, access changes. But what are your top 3 things that you want people to know about breast cancer?
So number one, kudos to you for keeping your appointment. I think coming out of COVID, and now we're looking at 3-4 years later, there are still people who have pushed off their annual screenings, like mammograms, and have gone back on schedule. Look, we're all busy. The world opened up. Now people are not home, and they're forgetting, and things are going well, but we know that these screenings save lives. So the first thing that we want to put out there is that everyone should make their screenings. Make your appointments, go to your screening, do not delay. You probably are a year or two late. So that goes for everyone.
Yep.
That's number one.
I remember hearing that when I went to my very first mammogram, which was, I was like 4 years later than I should have, because I was like, whatever, I'm young and I'm healthy. And I think at Northwestern in Chicago, they said they had to cancel 30,000 mammograms in 2020. And that backlog of getting people back onto the schedule and back into routine has been rough.
Yeah. And if people, honestly, nobody wants to go for a mammogram. It's the one place you go to find out if you're getting cancer. That doesn't sound fun time to me. So if you don't feel anything and you don't see anything, you're going to push it off.
Yep.
And the backlog did delay people. So that's the number one thing we want to, make sure. The other thing that, we want people to know is that breast cancer is generally 99% of the time associated with women. And it is primarily a women's disease. But men do get breast cancer. It's a much smaller percentage, but they do. But even more so, knowing your family history of breast cancer, whether you're male or female, is critical. So when women go to the doctor and they fill out a form and they say, what's your family cancer history? They immediately think, oh, if someone had breast cancer, ovarian cancer, and they put it in. Men who go are only thinking about generally male cancer. So they may never indicate that their family has breast cancer or ovarian cancer, like moms, aunts, grandmothers, sisters. But it's really important that they realize that because there's a whole genetics component going on. And we can talk a little bit about that. And knowing your family history. So if you have a family history and you were born male and you think that it doesn't relate to you, it does. Because if you have a family member who had breast cancer, ovarian cancer, there could be something going on. And you yourself might be at risk for pancreatic cancer, increased risk. Look, we're all at risk for cancer, but pancreatic cancer, male breast cancer, prostate cancer. And there are things you can do today to protect your health. So it's really important to know your family history. Male, female, however you identify, know the family history. We have opportunities now to have these conversations. People are a little bit more open than they were 30, 40 years ago. These are critical conversations. And we're asking people to find this out when they're in college. Like, don't wait until you're 40 when the recommended screening age for mammograms. Start earlier. And again, men and women, know your family history of both men and women going back generations.
Yeah. I'll say when you get diagnosed with breast cancer, you get on this train and it moves so fast. And one of them was genetic counseling. And I went in and I was like, the Jones family, we don't have cancer, except for that my grandpa had kidney cancer. My aunt had breast cancer. My other grandma had pancreatic cancer. My uncle had esophageal cancer. My brother had skin cancer. My cousin had leukemia. And once I wrote it down, it's like we're not a cancer, except we are now, but we weren't right? Most of them were during times when we didn't talk as much about cancer. And we're not like a turkey trot family. We don't go and do 5Ks for different cancer awarenesses. And so I just thought we're like a heart disease family. We're not a cancer family. And then I wrote it all down. And I think that's really important for people to do because you'll start to see the patterns, and a genetic counselor can help you understand on the maternal side and paternal side, like what might that mean for you?
And also technology has come so far and the medical community has tremendous advancements, and we're living in the United States, which has the best medical care probably in the world. And certainly living in the cities like you're in Chicago and I'm here near New York. I mean, there's really opportunity. So, I think learning your family history, maternal, and also, we have genetic counselors on staff at Sheridan. Everything we do is free and everything is accessible. You can call from your house, your car, your office, your bed. It doesn't matter. We make it convenient and you can have these important genetic conversations. And I think people need to understand the statistics when it comes to genetics, right? The Ashkenazi Jewish community gets hard hit by genetic mutations. And when it comes to breast cancer and ovarian cancer, we're right up there. So, Ashkenazi Jewish women and men are at 10 times greater risk than the general population to carry what people call a BRCA. It's a BRCA mutation. So that means that if a woman is carrying a BRCA mutation, she can have up to a 70-80% chance of developing breast cancer in her lifetime and 40 to 60% chance of developing ovarian cancer. Men are at increased hereditary risk for male breast cancer, prostate cancer, melanoma, and pancreatic cancer. And women also for the increased risk for those cancers that are female based. And so I think, if you want to reach out, if someone's thinking about this, wait, I do have family history. I'm concerned about testing. How do I get testing? All those answers. We don't have to spend time now. Call Sheridan at a time that works for you with our genetic counselors. We have 2 on staff. They're eager and waiting to speak with you and can help guide you on making informed decisions about your health. And it will save your life. It will save your life.
Yeah. So the last time we saw each other was the Sheridan benefit and celebration in Chicago. And I was surprised. I think the women in my life mostly seem to know about the BRCA mutation and getting their mammograms. I was surprised how many calls I got from the men in my life saying, oh, I could pass this to my daughter. I'm at risk for things. What do I say to my doctor to make sure I get this test? So it was really, I think it's really important, like for men and women both to do this genetic counseling and look at their family history.
Yeah. I mean, there was an article that came out today. I forwarded it to the team saying that men are being under tested because they're not bringing up things with their doctors and doctors are not paying attention. So it's really important. We're also out there. Sharsheret is partnering with the medical community and highlighting these issues so that they can communicate to their patients. And Sharsheret is out there community education. Like doctors don't necessarily have the time to educate. So we're out there in full force in local communities, sharing this information. And we're on almost every college campus where we're the national philanthropy for AEFI, and we work closely with AEPI and Chabad and Hillel on campus and other organizations to raise awareness with young adults. Like this is not only about your parents' cancers, but there are things you can do today for yourself.
Outstanding. So 1, get your mammograms. Don't cancel the appointment. Go even if it's scary. 2, know your family history and look into genetic counseling to understand what your risk factors are. 3.
Number 3 is to tell 2 people, right? Be open about these conversations. So if you're on a Sharsheret event or you're at this or you're listening to this podcast, tell 2 people when you leave, when you see them, what'd you do today? I watched Leah's podcast. It was great. She's entertaining. But you know what? I learned this. I learned that men carry. So whatever information you're getting, share it with 2 people. Don't stop with just one person. You can't imagine the ripple effect you will have. Or recommend Sharsheret. Whatever you learn, we say whenever you're in a setting and whatever you pick up, that one nugget, tell 2 people. And the ripple effect will be beyond your expectation.
Yeah. Outstanding. So I got to know about Sharsheret at an ROI community conference, which is funded by the Schusterman Foundation, when I met the founder in Jerusalem in 2007, I think. I met Rochelle. So it was always on my radar, and she has since passed away, and her legacy is tremendous in this organization. So when we were introduced and Sharsheret was coming to Chicago, for me, it was like a chance to reignite a relationship from 15 years prior and an interesting way to get involved in the community outside of my synagogue. And it was a new way to volunteer. One of the things I love about Sharsheret is that it's rooted in Jewish values and it's rooted in the Jewish community, but it's for everyone. It's for anyone who needs support. But what are some of the services if someone sends a note through the website or calls in? What are some of the services that Sharsheret offers people?
The services we offer are like millions, and we have Sharsheret. We want to tell you everything. So I'm going to make it really simple so that everybody here can remember it. There are 4 things that Sharsheret does. The first thing we do is provide emotional support and patient navigation. So that means speaking with a social worker. You find out that you have a genetic mutation. You're worried about a friend. You're worried about yourself. You're worried about your partner, your spouse. You were just diagnosed. You call Sharsheret. We have about 15 mental health counselors ready, waiting for you to call to speak to you. It could be email. It could be text. It could be through direct message on Instagram. We'll talk a little bit later about that. So that's the first thing, emotional support and patient navigation. Helping you understand what you're going through and what your options are. It's not medical advice, but it's emotional support. We also have a peer support network of 30,000 women who are sharing experiences. So you're not the only one going through what you're going through. We will find you someone else who's a little bit ahead of you and doing really well.
Yeah.
That's the emotional support. The second thing we do is genetic conversations, genetic counseling. And that's really important because you don't have to provide any insurance card. These are conversations. We can guide you on how to get tested, what it means to your results, how to communicate with your family members. Because remember, when you get a genetic test result, positive or negative, that's not the end of the story. You have to tell your family members, this is genetics. We're all related if you're in the same biological family.
Yep.
These are important conversations. So that's the second thing. So we're doing emotional support, patient navigation. We have genetic counseling and financial assistance. Sharsheret is providing $1 million a year to low-income cancer patients. Cancer is expensive.
It's so expensive.
Nobody talks about that. Financial toxicity, right? And you want to get better. You want to do everything. But should you be given a conflict like, oh, do I not try this new procedure that can preserve my hair during chemotherapy when my biggest fear was losing my hair because I have to pay my copays. No, Charcheret will step in and provide that service for you. There are certain things we will do. So we had someone who her car broke down and she couldn't go to chemotherapy. So we paid for her car payments. So there's $1 million going directly to help women manage this financial toxicity associated with cancer that people don't really talk about.
Yeah.
And you do have to compromise quality of life because of the expense it is to get the medical care that you need to get better.
Yeah.
So that's the third thing. So that's, helping thousands. And then the last thing we do is community education, life-saving education. Conversations like these are saving lives. People are not aware of the information. It triggers something in their mind. They make a phone call. They call their doctor. They tell their friend. They tell themselves that they have to go to their appointments. There isn't an event that goes by that I don't get a call afterwards where someone says, you saved my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I think those are the 4 things that we do. Everything is free. Everything is confidential. And everything is easily accessible. You don't have to go anywhere. Charcheret has always been remote, even before COVID, because cancer is busy and we're all busy, right? We're all active. We are working. We are dating. We are raising families. There's a lot going on and you don't have time for this. So Charcheret becomes that quarterback and does that. So we're doing education in communities starting on college campuses and in many, many synagogues through our Pink Shabbat program. We're in JCCs. We'll go wherever you are. If you're having a mahjong tournament, we'll go talk. If you're playing pickleball, we'll share information. We'll go anywhere just to share the information.
Yeah, so this will come out on October 20th. On Shabbat, October 25th is our Pink Shabbat at my synagogue. And I will be giving a devar and talking about Charcheret and talking about breast cancer on October 25th at Emmanuel.
Leah, all your people should go because I'm telling you guys, I heard Leah speak at the Chicago event. If you haven't seen the tape, call her. She'll send it to you. You will be so inspired and it's enjoyable and she's a superstar. So it's like going to what I tell you, like a motivational speaker meets comedian. I don't know, stand-up comic. You should go and get to that synagogue.
I asked my cantor, I was like, I don't know if I should be the person who speaks again. Do you think we should find someone else? And she was like, no, you're doing it again.
Hard to fill those shoes. You can't do it.
And then in November, Sharon, who's on the local staff here in Chicago, is coming to my office and we're doing a lunch and learn we have a wealth management team and we're going to talk to them about what they need to know about Charcheret and about breast and ovarian cancer so they can support clients when they hear about a diagnosis or just having more information will make them better at their client-facing jobs. And I'm really excited for that. And then we're looking in the spring to do a client event once the snow thaws. So yeah, Charcheret is outstanding for these community events. And yeah, whether it's your synagogue, anything. You guys,
the workplace is a great place for us to meet all different types of people because not everyone goes to a synagogue. We know that. And not everyone is available. But, if they're going to be at work, like people got to show up to work. Mm-hmm. Even if it's by Zoom or hybrid or whatever, we've done lunch and learns by Zoom. We've done affinity groups. It's really important. And we always get people to call. And I'm happy to be in the wealth management. Charcheret's a nonprofit. So if anybody has resources and wants to support the work that we do, I'm going to plug it. I mean, we're top ratings from Charity Navigator, Better Business Bureau, GuideStar Candid. We're platinum status. So we're really very responsible with the funds that we receive, and a lot of people are benefiting. So I'm not going to be shy about it. If somebody knows someone who wants to invest in an organization that's doing really good things and has a good track record, call me.
Great. And where can people find Charcheret?
We are wherever you are. That you can find us online at charcheret.org. And it's a hard word to spell, but we've put in our website misspellings of the word because from the search engine optimization. So it's charcheret.org. We also have a toll-free number, 866-474-2774. And I think it's like Go Charch or something. We're on Instagram. We're Charcheret Official. You'll see a lot of different Charcherets on Instagram because a lot of college campuses make their own little clubs that have Charcheret, but we're Charcheret Official. And I would tell everyone to follow us there anyway. There's educational information, good stories, keeps you posted on what we're doing. And we're also on Facebook. And we also have live chat on our website. And we also have texting. So if someone wants to be reached through text, we can do that too. Basically, we want to make it easy for you to find us. So if you Google Jewish breast cancer, I'm kind of hoping I will show up, but sharsharet.org.
Outstanding. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, Elana, breast cancer is how we know each other, but it's really neither of our favorite things. Important, but not favorite. What is one of your favorite things that you want to chat about today?
So one of my favorite things is working out at Orangetheory. I don't know if everyone knows it, but I've definitely done it in Chicago. I've done it in New York. I've done it in New Jersey. I've done it in Toronto. I've done it in Israel. I've done it in Palm Beach. Basically, I will only go where they have an Orangetheory. I don't want to be something. It's part of my, I don't know if everyone knows what it is, but check it out.
So Orangetheory, I'll tell you what I think I know, and then you can fact check me.
Okay.
It's a gym. It's I guess an international brand, and it's circuit training. And so I think you go for an hour and you're with a bunch of people and you're jumping on and off different machines, and everybody's doing something different for a minute. And then like you move machines, and then you do a circuit. That's what I think Orangetheory is.
Yeah. So it's basically that. First of all, I love it. It's reminiscent of like, I don't know if I'm aging myself, but we had those aerobics classes, step classes.
Mm-hmm.
So for 15 years, I couldn't work out in a gym because I had little kids and I had to get them on the bus. So I would wake up at 5 a.m, work out on either my treadmill or my elliptical, lift a few weights, not really good about the weights on my own. And then wake up at 5 a.m. And then at 6:30, I'd wake up my kids and get ready for school.
Yeah.
But I really missed those days where we did step classes and all that. And I was like, I really like that group feeling. I was very motivated to do this cardio. It wasn't that I'd watch the Today Show and I'd watch music videos. But
yeah,
as soon as my youngest went off to school, I joined Orangetheory, which was probably like 6 years ago. And so basically they have 3 different stations and it is a group of people. It's really loud music. There's a trainer and it's a routine and I like it. It's not just, oh, you do this for 20 minutes. They're telling you, go fast, go slow, go on, go off, do these exercises, lift weights. And I love the group activity. I find it very motivating and makes it fun. They change up the routine all the time. But I am a very routine person. So like, I know the expectation. It's always going to be a different version of the same thing.
Yeah.
You can book my class the same time every day. And they let you work out as hard as you want or as light as you want. Like you ever see those commercials for, I don't know, one gym where it's like, maybe it's Planet Fitness. I don't know if you guys have it out there, but
we do. Yeah.
It's like, you don't have to be this super jock and feel uncomfortable. Like that's what I love at Orangetheory. Like there are people in their 20s and people in their 70s and people are running so fast and people are walking on the treadmill and everything is acceptable and everybody is, cheering each other on. And it's a really nice, great workout. And I'm always sweating at the end. So I love it.
So their classes, I guess I thought, so there was a brief window. Did you ever go to Curves? Do you remember Curves?
I do remember, but I didn't, I think I went there once. Yeah.
It was a women's only gym. It was circuit training and you would just kind of go and merge in between 2 people. It wasn't a class with a trainer. You just kind of you're like,
I saw it. I know. It's like a routine. But here it's like they could put like a bunch of people on the treadmill, a bunch of people on the rower, and a bunch of people doing weights. So everyone on the treadmill is doing the same routine while the people, I don't know how the trainers do it. Honestly, they're watching 3 different areas.
Yeah.
But it's kind of fun. So like all the people in your row in the treadmill are doing the same thing, but then you switch to the rower, let's say 15 minutes later.
Okay.
And you do the rower and then you go to the floor. So it's like, it's good.
Yeah. So when you found it and started going 6 years ago, did you try a few different, how did Orangetheory hook you?
So let's say 7 or 8 years ago, a friend of mine, because I always liked working out. So I was staying at friends in Israel and the guy said to me, do you want to go try this Orangetheory? It's a great class. And I was like, I don't think I'm going to do it in Hebrew. Like I speak Hebrew, but I don't know if maybe I speak biblical Hebrew more than,
Right.
traditional Hebrew, but he took me and I liked it and I signed in, and good marketing for them, because when they opened one that was within 5 minutes of my house, they started targeting me. And
Smart.
I came in at a founder's rate. I was like, now not only am I getting in, but I got an affordable price. You have to remember, 15 years I wasn't paying for a gym, and
Yeah.
that's a big expense to start. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start out with the founder's rate, and I still have like a discount because I did that.
Mm-hmm.
So they kept. So I started asking them, when are you opening? When are you opening? When are you opening? So I was there for they. Kudos to them for their marketing. But the cool thing about Orange Theory is that the same routine that you're doing is everywhere across the world. So
Mm-hmm.
you could be in Australia, and you could be in London, and you could be in New York. So sometimes I have friends who are also Orange Theory. They'll send me that, oh, did you do it today? And we'll compare. My daughter just joined in Toronto, and she goes an hour after I do.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, what'd you do? How was it? Was it good? And so it's also this kind of thing that everybody is doing the same thing. And in this day and age, in this world, how nice is it that there's something that brings everyone together in a healthy environment and,
Yeah.
friendly competition. It's nice.
And you said the music's loud.
Yeah.
So it feels like a dance party?
Yeah, but it's like also you have to give the people who do the good music. Like I'm partial to 80s, right? Like I
Yeah.
like 80s music, and that gets me like when an 80s song comes on, I'm like flying. But yeah, it's kind of like a dance party. Like they know when, and then there's a cool down at the end, and people don't always stretch, and they say it's so important. So I like that there's also stretching, because who
Mm-hmm.
takes the time to stretch? And it's very like pump music. Like you feel like you're working out, and it's fun, and I think it goes really quickly, and I love it.
Yeah. So I briefly had a Peloton, and I found it to be just like too much effort I had to change my clothes, I had to change my shoes. And it was like it was too many hurdles for me. But one of the things that was interesting about it is you could pick classes based on the music. Like they would say, this is going to be an 80s ride. This is going to be. So do you have teachers you like? Do you pick your
So there
class
are
based on the
people, so I'm not picky. I'm obsessed with the whole concept. So I don't really care who the teacher is, right? But I see sometimes I'll go to a class and everyone loves this guy, Jeff, and his classes will be exploding and not the other ones. But I'm such a regimented routine.
Mm-hmm.
I have the same haircut since I'm 15. I'm, married to the same guy for 35 years. I'm like, I live in the same house for 20 something years. So I don't mind it. But some people do pick the teacher they want. And then sometimes they do specialty classes. Like you can do one that's 50 minutes of lifting or 50 minutes of running. And they try to change it up, and they tell you like, oh, next week is going to be this special class where you work with a partner. So there's some level of creativity and choosing if you want. But
Mm-hmm.
for me, I'm like religious about it. Like I take the 7:10 a.m. every single day if I'm local.
Yeah.
But last week I did LA for the first time, and that was really fun. And I get to see different people, and I just like it. And they have this part is fun. I didn't tell you, but on the screen, the reason it's called Orange Theory is everyone wears a heart monitor.
Mm-hmm.
The screen, they put your name and what your heart rate is, and then different colors indicate your level of exertion, I guess. So
Okay.
if you hit orange, like that means you're really like pushing yourself, and they have like a goal. You have to hit 12 orange points. So then the whole time, that's why I really like it also, because I'm constantly looking at the screen and saying, oh my gosh, am I cool? Like they say now you don't want to be in orange. You want to be in blue. You want to be kind of cooler, and you want to be now go all out and be orange. So it's kind of like also, am I getting the 12 points?
Mm-hmm.
Am I working out too hard? Am I following? So it's kind of like I'm a rule follower, kind of like to be in the right heart range. And so it's fine. I don't know health wise if it matters, but you're moving your body for an hour. It's good.
Yeah. Nice. So there's the heart monitor. Is there special gear that you needed to get, or things that you bring with you to like make your experience better? Do you have a special water bottle or?
So I don't, but I always bring, which I don't see everyone else does. I don't know how they do it. I have Orange Theory sells like a workout towel that
Mm-hmm.
I think first of all, their stuff is really good quality. And I take my orange towel with me always, because I'm always like dripping and gross.
Mm-hmm.
So You can wipe it. And also you could, that's the other thing. You're not coming in, everyone's in this fancy workout clothes. You can really, there are some people, but you can wear anything. I wear literally, I have 7 of the same shirts. This is also like my personality. 7 of the same shirts, 7 of the same leggings. I mean, people probably think I wear the same thing every day. I don't. I wash it every single time. I soak it in my sink first, and then I put it in the washing machine.
Yeah.
And you don't need, like with a Peloton, I know, like I remember people have to buy the special shoes and clip.
Yeah.
No, this you can go. And if you're not too gross and sweaty, like I can run an errand afterwards, put on a zip up sweatshirt. No one has, and then go home and shower. But I feel like I'm doing a commercial for it, but it's really, really fun and I enjoy it. And I was telling you earlier that when sometimes I get into conversations or I do podcasts or with those who are trying to teach health and wellness to organizational leaders. And they say, like, what do you do to maintain health and wellness? Because I do work like a crazy person.
Yeah.
And I said, every single day for an hour, like my family knows, my office knows, like I don't give up Orangetheory. Like if I'm traveling for work, I need to go to Orangetheory. So I think that's like, and I've made it and people really respect it. And that's my way of, that's 1 hour. There's also no phone. Like for me to separate plug for that 1 hour, you're not allowed to bring your phones into the studio because if they fall off. And also it's distracting. I get an hour where I can't be reached. Of course, they know I'm there. So if there's an emergency, but I think having an hour where people are not, I'm not on my phone, I'm not attached, I'm not checking out social media, I'm not working. I think it's really healthy. I think it's really part of my health and wellness.
Yeah. So in your travels, what is the furthest you've had to go between your hotel or your host and an Orangetheory to make sure you got your workout in?
Okay, so it's such a good question because I really also I feel like I have no time. So here it's like I time it every day. I'm like looking, is it 4 minutes? Is it 5 minutes? 4 or 5 minutes. But I know when I was in Toronto for an extended time, it took me 20 minutes to get there, long time, and 20 minutes to get back. And the way it was timed, like the classes were not at a great time. So what I would do would be I would get to the place early. So I had an extra 45 minutes. I would do work in my car, with my phone and whatever I needed to do, and then take the class and then be on the phone on calls on the way back because we're adding another 40 minutes to an hour. And one day it was pouring in the traffic, but I was like, I wouldn't give it up. And that people were saying, you're going to go 20 minutes for that class. I'm going to go 20 minutes for that class. And I'm so happy I did. Now they know me. They're like, when are you coming back?
I love it. So 20-minute commute in Toronto. You've taken classes in Israel. So you're an international Orangetheorier.
I'll pay Uber to drive me when I'm in a hotel, which is then an expense, honestly. Like it's costing me for the class, obviously. Right. And then I'm paying another 20, at least 10 or 15 back and forth. But the one in Toronto I had at someone's car. So I don't know if I could bring myself to spend $50 each way, but like, I'm willing to spend the money because I want to do it so badly.
Yeah, that's great. Does Orangetheory, do they know how dedicated you are?
So that's the joke. Like I have to look on my app, but I've taken like well over 1,000 classes. They always announce, this one had 5 classes. They never announce you, but I'm very under the radar. Like I don't like attention. I know I'm like the chatty here, but I kind of keep quiet. Even on my birthday, I think maybe on my birthday, they said happy birthday. My birthday is July 4th. So like, that's like a big deal.
Yeah.
But I don't think they know. I don't think I once didn't go locally for like a couple of weeks because I was traveling and no one called me to find out like where I was. Like, I would think they would say like, hey, where's she been? Nobody,
right.
Nobody. But I made a really good friend. It's funny. There's a girl there who I otherwise would never have been friendly with. She's like 30 years old. She's an investment banker. Totally nothing to do with each other otherwise. And she's so nice. Like we meet there. Sometimes she saves me a treadmill, writes my name down. We catch up. I learned so much about her life. She's doing amazing things. She's getting an MBA. She's working. She's traveling. And we've become such good friends. And I look forward to working out there to see her. We always go near each other on the treadmill.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
When you started going to Orangetheory, so you said you did treadmill and elliptical at home and looked at your weights. Uh,
No, I really didn't. I had them. I don't know how much. It's really hard to motivate yourself to lift weights without someone watching
it's
it.
so hard. I actually have a tab open of there's a women's weightlifting gym in my neighborhood. And I really want to, I do Pilates,
Oh,
like
good.
a private lesson once a week. And I'm really committed to that. I think it has really helped my recovery. But I also know that I need to be doing strength training. So I wrote them and I was like, who have you got? Like, I'm a breast cancer survivor. I came out of it with some chronic illnesses. Sometimes I use a cane, like sometimes I have mobility issues. So I was like, who have you got that is like body neutral and wants somebody to come in who uses a cane on occasion? But I'm curious, when you started going, what were the exercises that were like new to you, or you were surprised that you liked them? Like, you knew treadmill and elliptical, but what were the things that were surprising to you?
Okay, so first of all, cardio was never a thing for like not an issue for me, but lifting weights I never knew. I
Mm-hmm.
also didn't realize how sore you can get when you change up your routine. So like I might be TMI, but like literally hard to sit on a toilet after you
Yeah.
after you work out. So and a lot of people said they had the same thing. So that was like shocking, like, oh my gosh, because I guess my body was so used to running. I was running 8 miles a day. I ran a hole in my tread. Like my
Wow.
friend who sold me the treadmill said, "Oh, your whole family uses this treadmill?" I said, "No." I said, "Just me." Like, this is crazy. So my body was obviously used to it, probably not being, but a week after doing Orangetheory for like 3 days, honestly, I was so sore. So that was shocking.
Mm-hmm.
Lifting the weights, like literally, like, I mean, they say for women and for you also, like, this is what, at this point in my life, this is what's important, building bones,
Yeah.
and also, I think just for regular health, like they're not so into doing so much cardio. I think you need to do a little bit of everything. So I didn't know how much I would enjoy this concept of like squats and lunges. I had never done them right. And they like will correct me if my arms. And I really am excited that, I started out with very low weights and then,
Mm-hmm.
like, I mean, I'm still not a bodybuilder, but I'm pretty proud that I can lift like a 25-pound weight in one hand. And like that, to me, that was really good.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for it, but also like I know the squats are important and anything and balance. Like I think that's
Mm-hmm.
a lot of balance. And as you get older, and balance is important. We don't want to fall. We don't want to
Right.
break it. So that part is all stuff that I don't think I could do on my own. And having the whole group effort, it's nice and it's fun.
Yeah. I think it absolutely is not something I can motivate myself to do at home, but it's so important. Like, you need to, be able to get up off the floor if you fall, work on your balance so you don't fall. I just saw TikTok, so it was 100% true.
Obviously.
It was, two men talking about weightlifting and stuff and saying that a woman should be able to farmer carry. And farmer carry is like dumbbells in each arm, like it's just like straight down carry, just like pick them
Uh-huh.
up. So you're not bending your elbows. You're not, 75% of their body weight.
Really?
Yeah. And that if you can farmer carry 75% of your body weight for a minute, like how like that tremendous that would be for your health as you age.
Okay. I'm gonna try that.
Yeah.
I can't lift it, but I can hold it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I won't be able to
Right.
put it above my head, but
Right. But it's just like holding it just straight down, like you're carrying a gallon of milk in each arm.
I have to actually calculate what that poundage is. I don't know.
Yeah. So it's 75% of your weight and then you divide it in half. So it's half in each arm.
Uh-huh. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's good. That's good. Obviously, TikTok knows that's where we get all
Yeah.
our reliable news and information.
It's where I get all of it.
Yeah.
But I don't remember if I got that before or after I reached out to this. It may have had something to do with me saying like, okay, I have to go do some strength training, but I don't want, it's climbing stairs. I just went on this summer, I went on safari, which was very exciting in Africa. I spent 2 weeks in Africa and it was things like, all right, you've got to like climb this little ladder up the side of a Land Rover and, thinking about having the strength to do that and maintaining independence. And it's just something I think I'm far enough into my recovery that now I can start thinking about like what do I want the rest of my life to look like. And I think weight training, I think good cardio, like I think it's a big part of it.
Yeah. I mean, I sit so much, honestly. Like
Mm-hmm.
I sit all day. Like they say to get 10,000 steps and your phone tracks you. I'm
Yeah.
not getting that if I don't go to the gym. I'm just not. Like, it's just not realistic. I drive. I live in suburban area, so I'm driving a lot. I sit at my desk a lot to work. I'm not a TV watcher. That's not my issue. But I'm in front of a computer many, many, many hours,
Yeah.
and we all are. And that's and I got to force myself to, like, I see everything. Obviously, I'm more of an Instagram person than a
Mm-hmm.
everyone keeps talking about like just walking, like going after each meal to go for a walk. So now that the weather's okay, I try to do a little bit of walking, but it's really important.
Yeah. What would you say to someone who is now orange curious about trying it out?
I would tell them to start with, they have different plans, like start with 2 days a week. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm crazy and I go 6 days a week, but I know like not everyone can do it every day. And they even recommend not doing it every day. So I would say start 2 days a week and meet someone there so they can tell you, because in the beginning, it's hard to say, like, it's a new language, right? They tell you to do certain things and you don't know it. Takes a couple of days. It's nice to have a friend there. So if you know somebody, or let them introduce you to someone in the beginning, because then they can tell you, oh, this is what they mean by go push. This is what they mean by going all out. But definitely find, and the flexibility that you can go anywhere in the world is just really nice.
I had no idea it was international. Just no
Yeah.
idea. Yeah.
So that's how people are looking, because let's say Australia, it's ahead of us, right?
Yeah.
So they know what it is. And also, I think I'm not this dedicated in that way. People look on Reddit to find out what the routine is. And then I come in, especially this friend I have, and
Mm-hmm.
Elana, today we're walking on a hill, we're doing this. I'm like, she actually checks it before she comes. And there's a whole group of people. I don't do that. I don't know. I can't really figure out Reddit. So maybe that's
Yeah.
my.
Wait, so it's every class so every class today around
Correct.
the world is the same
Calendar
routine.
day. Yes. And
Oh, okay. I
and
was
you'll
thinking it
meet.
was like every 7 a.m. class around the world today is the same, but no matter what time you go to the class, you're taking the same routine as people who the whole calendar day.
Correct.
Oh,
That's kind of crazy. So everybody knows, oh, it's going to be a 2-minute run, a 3-minute run. You have to go uphill. You have to go downhill. You're going to be on the rower. You're not going to be on the rower so much. You're going to have to lift weights. You're going to do lunges. Like they know before they come in.
yeah. How funny. That's
Yeah.
neat.
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
like someone could have done it 24 hours before you if they're that far ahead.
Yeah. But that's also nice because now I see what you mean. Like it doesn't matter as much who the particular trainer is because they're all doing the same routine the whole day. And so if for some reason you can't get your 7 a.m. class and you have to go at noon, you're still getting the same class. That's really neat. I didn't fully appreciate that.
But there's still people be like, oh, I had that class and it was terrible. I'm like, why was it terrible? Well, we didn't have Jeff. I'm like, because sometimes some are more motivating, high
Yeah.
energy, and they just get you better. But ultimately, if you're really into it, you can motivate yourself because it's good, fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is there anything else about Orangetheory I haven't asked you about that you'd be sad not to say?
Honestly, I feel like I really talked about it a lot.
That's the point of this
I know
podcast.
it's amazing. I didn't realize.
Yeah.
I do know because it becomes part of my identity. Like people are always like, "Oh, Lana's obsessed." I guess there's nothing really to know more. It's just that you can find it wherever you are, and I think it's kind of a little bit like Sharshara. Not to bring it back, but I always feel like
Always. Yeah.
I could do another podcast about. I am also very into Sharshara. It's also become part of my life, but it lets you take as much as you want or as little as you want, right? Like if you had a big night, maybe you were out late and you're tired and you come and you decide you don't want to run, you can walk and they're fine. They actually adjust the routine. They say, if you're a walker, you need to do this. If you're a runner, you do this. If you're a jogger, you do this. And if you don't want to lift heavy, and it's like a no judgment zone and it's not fancy. And it's like, I think in the old days of the gym, like you would come and you'd like talk to people for hours. People are friendly, but it's in and out. So it's
Yeah.
like busy people. It's a nice place to go and it's very clean. Oh, this is the other thing. And this is the last thing I'll tell you. Every station you're at and everything you walk around with like a Clorox wipe.
Nice.
And after you finish and it's not a COVID thing. They had it before, but like, it's kind of nice. Sometimes when you go to gyms and there's like layers of dust or cobwebs, they're never going to be dirty because you're always, after you finish a treadmill, you have to wipe it down. When you finish the rower, when you finish you work like a bench or any weights.
Right.
So yeah, you're cleaning the whole time. So it's actually really clean, which is nice.
I was thinking about that, like mid circuit, you're going from treadmill to rowing, but there's a pause for people to clean their machines before
have
you
to take
move.
it with you. And they tell you at the beginning, they hand you a wipe as you walk in,
Okay.
as you finish with the machine, depends on some places. But the culture is, you see, and it's just like automatic. You finish demo, you see everyone wiping it down. You finish this, and that's really nice. So when you're picking up anything new equipment, you don't have germs or whatever. As much as we think we can get rid of germs,
Right.
it smells good. It doesn't smell gross. Like, it's nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, Elana, what a fun way to spend a Friday afternoon.
Yeah, I feel so lucky. There's nothing more than I like to do than hear from you, but also to share about Sharsheret and also to get to know you. And, I knew you a little bit, but also, I love this opportunity and I'm excited to come back to Chicago and see you soon.
Yeah, I am looking forward to plugging back in. We had our advisory council meeting on Tuesday night, but that was the day I had my colonoscopy and I needed more sleep than I expected. So
even though that is the best sleep, the colonoscopy itself is the best sleep you're ever going to get. It's
I love twilight anesthesia.
yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. So when I got home from it and the doctor was like, you're not working this afternoon. You're not working from home. You're not getting on email. He's like, you're going to send emails and you're not going to remember them. He's like, do not work. And I was like, okay, I won't work. And I got home, the friend who drove me home, my hospital husband for the day.
Mm-hmm.
I told her, I was like, okay, I'm going to go lay down for a second. Just a couple minutes. I'm going to go lay down. She's like, okay. And I was out cold. You know how the jet lag nap, when you lay down in a hotel for a minute and you're not going to sleep, you're just going to rest your eyes for 10 minutes. It was that deep jet lag out cold for like 5 hours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And then were you able to sleep that night?
Oh yeah, I was. Yeah.
Good. But you missed the meeting.
I missed the meeting.
Oh man. Does someone take minutes? Does someone take minutes?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, so you're all caught up.
Yeah. It was just really, I really thought I would just get back to life. Needed a little bit more naps. So
great. That's great.
So just to repeat, where can people find out about Sharsheret?
So we are where you are. So online, sharsheret.org, toll-free number 866-474-2774, Instagram, Sharsheret Official, Facebook, Sharsheret. And, you can also go on our website and live chat us. That's where we can be found. And also in local communities, there are lots of people who are using Sharsheret and lots of volunteers and all over the country.
Outstanding. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. Finding Favorites, you can find us wherever podcasts are freely given away. So Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Please rate and review 5 stars. Tell your friends to listen. Finding Favorites is edited and engineered by Rob Abrazado. I'm your host, Leah Jones. So wear your mask, wash your hands, and keep enjoying your favorite things.
Thank you for listening to Finding Favorites with Leah Jones. Please make sure to subscribe and drop us a 5-star review on iTunes. Now, go out and enjoy your favorite things.